Daniel is the CEO, and I think he's the president and the Sultan of Joywave, and he's with us now. I think as all the you're the just lead singer.
Yeah.
You're all those things.
No, that's right. I appreciate you always, you know, going with the flow on these ridiculous titles. I try to add one every time I'm on the show.
You know, the first time Daniel did it and he sent CEO, I think he just didn't think anybody would actually do it. And the fact that people
Right.
actually do that, and it's like, I'm just going to keep calling myself CEO. I've always wanted to be a CEO. You guys are closing it out, Daniel, and you and I talked on this program. You know, earlier this year, when we looked ahead to what bands are trying to do, figuring out touring schedules, how to do it safely, and it has been a weird year. It really felt in May and June like we were headed for something close to a pre-pandemic feel, and we're not there right now. How are you feeling about performing, and what are you guys typically doing right now?
We have done very little. We played a college show in Indiana this weekend, and that was our first time on stage since Berlin, March 1st, 2020. So we're getting back into the swing of things now. We're very excited for Smokestacks and Fringe. We have a couple of festivals coming up in the coming weeks. We're doing Bottle Rock in Napa Valley this coming week. We're doing Summerfest in Milwaukee the week after, and we are doing Riot Fest in Chicago, which is very similar to Lollapalooza and that setup. But I feel good about outside. I think people should feel good about outside. Anyone who doesn't or is kind of on the fence, wear a mask. I mean, I know you mentioned Lollapalooza and that we haven't seen the super spreading, and you're right. I paid really close attention to the numbers after Lollapalooza, and there's this great thread on Reddit of all these people who are very cautious and felt like sharing their stories, and like 250 or 300 people went and got PCR tests after attending Lollapalooza, and sharing what their vaccination status was, what shot they got, when they got it, and how they tested. And it was a small number did test positive, but they also couldn't connect it to the festival. And they also said none of us were wearing masks. There was only one person who wore a mask and was vaccinated and tested positive from the entire festival. So if you have any hesitancy about coming, wear a mask in the crowd, and that's cool. No one's going to make fun of you or anything. I mean, I think that's great. That's what I personally would do.
Yeah, I agree. And the data is there. I mean, Daniel's absolutely right about that. Eric has talked about that. You know, I'm looking out the window here. I'm looking at Frontier Field. They've had a number of events. But, you know, when I look out the window, I feel like every window is a mirror, Daniel. Do you feel like that?
A lot of people have been saying that lately.
I wonder why. Let's listen to a cut. Every window is a mirror. Don't you love dad jokes on Connections on Fridays? Tell us about this tune.
It's a new one from a new EP with the same title, Every Window is a Mirror, that came out in June. And I guess at its core, it's a song about empathy and just if we could acknowledge that our own views of other people's lives or situations are skewed by our own experiences and could factor that in, I think we'd be a lot less shouty and a lot happier.
Do you feel like, your music at this time, are you particularly compelled to reflect either events, or is it just sort of a disposition of sometimes sadness, fear, empathy? I mean, what are you going for when you're writing?
All I can really do is be me and share my thoughts on things. And I think my general, I'm kind of predisposed to say, let's all calm down. And it's really hard to not have a little bit of that in the music. We put out our last record, Possession, in March of 2020. We got back from Europe on March 1st. Everything went to hell very quickly after that. And I obsessively watched CNN and case counts for a few weeks and then said, okay. And I just started working on new music. And it is, a lot of the new music is actually very positive just because this is the most continuous time I've had home in Rochester and been able to set into a routine in like 7 or 8 years. And I was able to slow down and kind of look behind me and appreciate all of these experiences that I've had that, growing up a kid in Greece, I don't know that I ever would have been to Europe or like casually hop on a flight to London to go play a concert. Like, not only that, I get paid to do these things. It's crazy. And when you've slept for 3 hours or have to be at the airport at 4 a.m. or something, it's really hard to appreciate. But when you are home for 18 months straight, which I really did enjoy this time and used it creatively. We have another record coming out in February. But it kind of made me appreciative for things that I may have, lamented before.
Absolutely. Well, before we let you go, you guys get to be part of Smokestacks featuring Joywave on Saturday, September 25th, the last day of the Fringe, down there at Parcel 5. I mean, it's a space that has been a great space for outdoor performance already. And this is the year they finally put grass down there. It is going to be a joyous place. What are you looking forward to most on a day like that, Daniel?
Being together with fellow Rochesterians at a free event, just that we can all kind of come together. And I know that it's not over, but hopefully conditions are right for people to come out safely that night and kind of take a breather from everything we've been through and just have a good time for a minute.
Thanks, man. We'll see you there. I know I'll talk to you when you guys have another record to put out, but thanks for coming on the program today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Daniel Armbruster, CEO. Yes, the CEO, the lead singer, the writer, and the voice of Joywave. And they're going to be there on September 25th.